Alright, man. It's been a while, man. It's been a while, man. I'm back. You already know who it is, man. The one and only Tahuti, and I'm back at it. You know what I mean? And this now, this right here, man, you know what I mean? I really want to deal with some stuff, you know what I mean? This month is very interesting. You know what I mean? It's going to be very interesting for a lot of things that are going to be taking place this month. I really need to deal with these things that are going to be taking place. So you know this month I'm going to be here dealing with these things. You know it. You know what I mean? So I really want to deal with this. So now this video right here, guys, I want to deal with this Glass right here. Now recently I've seen this movie, Glass. Now some of you may have already seen this right already, or some of you may not have already seen it. But again, I would highly recommend. There's some occultism dealing with this movie, Glass. I really need to deal with it. I really need to do it. I get with this kind of movie. I kind of slept on it. I slept on this movie a little bit. You know what I mean? Didn't think it was too deep. I thought it was one of those movies. But man, this right here, we got to deal with it. so then the movie now is essentially about real life superheroes. I guess, but it's superheroes from a human or real world perspective. So rather than from the fantasy perspective, dealing with some of the other stuff, but more of a real world perspective. You see. Right, so basically how this is going to work is that I'm going to deal with each of those three individuals. Those three individuals of the movie. We're going to deal with each of those three individuals, break them down, right, and then explain then do a conclusion towards the end. But what we're going to do, we're not going to, basically, we're not going to decode it so far, because really the ending is really like a plot twist. I don't really want to, ruin that for people who ain't seen it already. So we're going to only decode it so far to a certain point, and then we're going to let, what I'm saying, we'll just let the ending, we'll leave the ending open, you know what I mean? And then for those people who who ain't seen the movie yet, you can blah blah blah, you can get the ending. But even the ending has some stuff in there that obviously. But again, we're gonna leave it up to the people. So once you got this, now we can leave the rest up to you. The rest is up to you. You know what I mean? So let's deal with it. So now I want to start off with the guy, Mr. Glass. Now this is important. So now they all have powers, right? So now Mr. Glass's power essentially is a power of mind. But now Mr. Glass, what's interesting about him, essentially, he has these fragile bones. The bones are fragile, right, to a point where they break easy, and he can't actually walk. He can't actually walk, right. So now when you're dealing with the bones, then the bones being so weak, this is basically representative of an. So the older you get, the more fragile the bones become. But his bones being so weak and fragile to where he can't even walk, to he's bound to a wheelchair, and it's so fragile. And the scenes in the movie where you show the fragile bones, I'm not really going to go into that, but the scenes in the movie where they show how fragile it really is, right? Really what this is saying is this Mr. Glass person is an ancient, really old and ancient person. This is really what it's trying to say here. That his bones are old, and it's old and fragile. It's trying to say that this Mr. Glass person is really an old and ancient person, right? So that's really, so it's really, this Mr. Glass really represents his ancient origins, you see, right? But now the question is, where is this ancient man from? Where is this ancient Mr. Glass from? Where is he from? Now again, it tells you right there, it's in the name, Mr. Glass. And how is glass made? Glass is made when you take sand and you heat it to extremely high temperatures. So there you go. So we put it together now. Bones, weak bones, ancient man. So ancient man, weak bones. But then where is this ancient man from? Glass. But how we make glass is when we heat the sand. So we're ancient man and we have sand. So essentially it's an ancient man from the sands, from the desert. What we're dealing with here, ancient Egypt. That's what we're dealing with here. You see what I'm saying? So again, what we're dealing with is ancient Egypt. So this is Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass. This is Mr. Glass. That's what it's all about. That's Mr. Glass. Now I want to show you that just really the occultism of it. It's really, to be fair, I wouldn't even consider it really occultism, really and truly, because more or less it's there now. But again, to them, to their society and the mainstream society, it's considered occultism in mainstream society and how the mainstream consensus of history goes. But really, it's not really occultism. Really, from my standards, anyway. Right, so again, yeah, so that's the weak bones are also representative of the mummy aspect, the 4,000-year-old mummy, and the mummy dealing with the mummies. Right, so now when you're dealing with Glass now, they're all locked in their rooms. They're all locked in their rooms, right? But now with Mr. Glass, he kept getting out of his room. So because he kept getting out of his room, they wanted to essentially figure out how he was doing it. So they was putting cameras essentially all around the whole place to try and figure out, to try and observe this man getting out of his room, right? So now I want to explain this. I want to explain it to you. So now, if I essentially lock you in a room, right, and all you know is the room, that room becomes your reality. That room is now your reality. So the locking of the locking of the person in the room represents their reality, their third dimensional, the third dimensional confines of their existence, of their reality. So Mr. Glass escaping the room, essentially he's going beyond the confines of his reality, going beyond mundane existence. Do you understand? This is what he's doing. He's going beyond his reality, going beyond mundane existence. You see, so he's escaping, essentially the escaping of the confines of his reality, but really him being locked in the room essentially represents the rules of the reality, and the rules of he's supposed to stay in his room, so it's the rules, right, of reality, the laws of physics. So we're dealing with physics now, we're dealing with laws and rules of reality and how reality governs. So this black man, this ancient man escaping his room, essentially he's going beyond and breaking laws of physics, or essentially going beyond reality. Do you get it? He's going beyond reality. But the thing is that they couldn't actually stop him from leaving his room. So all they did was put the cameras everywhere to try and figure out how he's leaving his room. So it's really showing how they want to figure out basically what it was. This black man, this ancient man, is performing feats, right, that are going beyond mundane existence, going beyond mundane reality, but he's limited to the confines of his room. So they want to put the cameras to find out, how is this ancient man, how is this black man performing these great feats of leaving the room, these great feats with such limited resources available to him. Do you get it? Such limited resources available to him, but he's doing these great feats, You see what I'm saying? So they want to understand, how did this black man do it? How is he doing it? So they want to study the black man now. How is he doing these great feats with these limited resources that are available to him? How is he going beyond the mundane confines of his reality? Everyone else in their rooms, because remember now they're in essentially some kind of psychiatrist, some mental institution, whatever. How is it that everybody else is in their room, everybody else is following the rules of their reality, but this black man, this ancient man, is going beyond really the rules and breaking the rules and going beyond what mundane existence and what his reality dictated for him at that particular time? How is it even possible? So they're still trying to figure it out. How did they do it? You know what I mean? And again, there was a scene in the movie now where they took him to the surgical room, right? And they placed him on the bed with the light. So now the light, if you saw it in a scene now, in the movie now, it's a light, it's on this middle section right here. And again, you already know what it is. Again, we're dealing with the pineal gland, we're dealing with the melanin. So the melanin is the cause of the unexplained feats, you see. This is what we're dealing with. And again, these unexplained feats, I've revealed some of this stuff on other platforms, other channels. I've revealed this stuff. You guys already know. Even on here to a certain extent, I've revealed these feats. You know, that this ancient man, this ancient black man was accomplishing these feats. But again, so that's the whole key to it. He's performing these great feats. He's leaving the room, the confines of his reality, going beyond reality, right? But essentially, what's happening is they're trying to figure out, how did he do it? You know what I mean? How is he doing these things? They're still trying to figure it out. But they've made the link to say that it's this anomaly, which is the pineal gland, which is the melanin. Melanin is the anomaly. You know what I mean? So again, that's interesting stuff. So really, so that movie, it gives it all away. It gives it all away. And even in that movie, it mentions something about how Mr. Glass found a blueprint of an electrician's blueprint and short-circuited the whole entire place. So again, they're pulling it in your face. But really, to me, that's not really occultism. To me, by my standards, to them, it's occultism. You see what I'm saying? It's hidden knowledge to them, but really, to me, by my standards, that's apparent knowledge that was taking place. You see what I'm saying? Because really, electricity, really, when you understand the quantum aspect, and from an atomic level, really, it's just as abundant as water. Really and truly, it's just as abundant as air. So really, to me, that's not occultism, but again, to them, it is. You see what I'm saying? But to them, it is. But that's neither here nor there. So now I want to move. So moving on. Really, I want to deal with. So now, next up is the beast. Now, you guys already know. When we're dealing with the beast, you guys already know. We already know what we're dealing with here, right? So I don't have to go into that. But the one aspect of the beast now, he's got multiple personalities, right? And when you're dealing with the multiple personalities now, you're dealing with the Carl Gustav Jung psychology, C.G. Jung psychology now, dealing with the persona, right? Now the persona, or the personality, is the mask that one wears, right? To mask the true self. So his true self was this 9-year-old boy. This 9-year-old boy, that was his true self. But then the different masks that he was wearing, different characters and all that. And actually, it was actually a great performance from that particular actor. All those different, that he was able to do, performances and stuff. That's actually quite interesting right there. But you see, so that's really the personalities. But how it goes into the light now, it was the light that triggered the personalities. It was the light. So really, the light essentially links to this whole MK Ultra aspect, right? The MK Ultra mind control, and how there's a trigger. They can trigger the mind and get the different personality, and what they do, and that's how they do with the whole military aspect. It's the signal. The signal. Bobby Hemmett spoke about the signal. How they give him that signal, right? And then they shoot up the place. So that's the whole MK Ultra aspect. The light, it triggers the personality. It's that trigger that they give him. Then it's the signal. Then they're gonna shoot up the place. You see what I'm saying? So that is that aspect right there. But also, there's also another interesting aspect. But I'll leave that one open to the people. There's one interesting aspect. I've just told you what Mr. Glass is and who he is, right? And now you know who he is. Now there's an interesting aspect to where how he essentially tames the beast. You know what I'm saying? So now you know who Mr. Glass is. I'll leave that one open for the people. I'll let that one open for the people. You know what I mean? I'll leave that one open in the air for the people, right? For your interpretation. So now, finally now we're gonna deal with the guy in the black cloak. I can't remember his name. The guy in the black cloak or whatever. But again, essentially, he also has a type of strength power similar to the beast, right? But his main power really is the visions. He's able to gain these visions, right? But basically, gain visions and of events and places that he himself is not there. So essentially, the whole visions aspect really is the remote viewing. That's what that is. It's the remote viewing. You see, where you can take a peek, right, into a window of reality or a place that you are not there. So you can be here and remote view the Pentagon, you know what I'm saying? You can remote view somewhere else. So really that's what that is. The whole him getting vision is really the remote viewing aspect. You see. So really that's really what it is. Again, it's not a long video. It's not really a long video. I don't want to go too much over. So I want again with these videos now, what I want to start doing now really is giving you the information and breaking it down, but to a point where you can obviously get your own interpretation and put your own, you know what I'm saying, get your own, you see what I'm saying, interpretation of the movie yourself based on knowledge. Because obviously it's not just about me doing this research and doing this work, great work. You're also doing it too. So everything I'm mentioning here is stuff, if you've seen the movie, you're already picking up. So really showcasing that we're on the same page, and if not, then there's further research and further information and work that needs to be done. But that's what we're dealing with. So I'm only decoding up to a certain point, but the ending also was key, dealing with the whole Mr. Glass aspect. That's key. You gotta check the movie out. So now the conclusion here is essentially what these three showcase really is human potential. And one thing that Mr. Glass mentioned, which is something that most people who break down a lot of this fiction and break down a lot of this comics, is that he mentioned how for them to put it in the comic, it must have been something that somebody's already seen. And this is something I always knew. For them to put it in the comic, it must be something that somebody has seen that was unexplained, but it's an actual physical phenomenon. But because it's a physical phenomenon that's unexplained, it's like truth is stranger than fiction type of thing. So they have to put it in the fiction, but it's something that's been unexplained and something that's actually taken place. That's the part that Mr. Glass mentioned, and also, which is something that I understand. That's why sometimes I dig into these comics. You see what I'm saying? You know. But so again, so really the conclusion here, the whole powers is really representative of human potential, really. You know, I mean, the human potential, and that we can really achieve anything if we break the limits that, you know, that society and what people put on our minds. You see, and the reason why it goes into ancients, the reason why the ancients accomplished so much stuff, they never had the same limits that we have. But also it goes into the melanin and things like that, nature, you know what I mean. But they were breaking the limitations. So really, as human beings, pretty much we can do anything. Really and truly, we can do anything. So that's really what Glass is. We can really do anything. But the mainstream, you know, and the people that want to suppress the knowledge, want to suppress the information, but we can do anything. So really, that's really what it is. You know what I mean? Really what it is. So that's a quick short video dealing with this glass. But again, like I said, this month there's a lot of interesting movies coming out now. This month, so you know I'm coming back. This ain't over. You know what I'm saying? We have some unfinished business to attend to. This month is key. There's gonna be plenty of stuff, so you know I'm coming back this month. You know I'm gonna be here this month dealing with this stuff, giving you this groundbreaking. I gotta do it. I really gotta raise the bar and really break it down. So you know, guys, man, we're really dealing with it right here, man. So again, man, that's the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you took some good information from this. Alright, people. Thanks for watching.